Winter has just arrived on the island of Sodor. Snow has covered the fields and railway lines. All of the engines were hard at work, except for Thomas. He had gotten himself into an accident, and now had to go to the works to be mended. While Thomas was away, the Fat Controller asked Emily to help out to work on Thomas's branch. Emily didn't mind the extra work and was glad to be helping out her friend Thomas. She had already knew Percy and soon made good friends with Toby, Mavis, Bertie, and Terrence. But there was one engine that Emily had trouble getting along with, and that's Daisy, the diesel rail car. One day, Emily was pulling the passengers with Annie and Clarabelle, and she passed Daisy, who was resting on a siding and was not amused. "Slow down," she called out. "Your passengers don't like being bounced around like peas in a frying pan." This made Emily cross. "I'm not even going that fast," she grumbled to herself. Next, Daisy saw Emily waiting at a signal. As she was waiting, Emily was talking to some children on the bridge. "Is this how you do your job?" remarked Daisy. "Talking to children is nothing but a waste of time, and will only cause you to be late." "But I'm never late," said Emily crossly. "I'm allowed to talk to anyone if I please, and I don't respect that attitude of yours." "Attitude?" snapped Daisy. "I'll have you know that I'm a hard-working engine, and I expect others to do the same as me." "Oh, really?" explained Emily. "Says the one who doesn't like to pull trucks and is scared of cows." Before Daisy could react, the signal went down and it was time for Emily to leave. "Well, darling, I say you do better get going, or else you'll be the one late," smirked Daisy as she rolled away, leaving Emily very annoyed. Later, Emily met Percy and Toby at the sheds and told them about Daisy. "I'm so sorry about Daisy," said Percy sadly. "She can be like that most of the time." "She's full of herself," added Toby. "Sometimes often Bossy can lead herself into trouble." "Well, for one thing," retorted Emily, "I'm never listening to her or talking to that Daisy ever again." Percy and Toby gasped. "Are you sure about this?" "Positive," remarked Emily. "So there." And she backed down to the sheds and went to sleep. Early the next morning, the station master came to see them. "There's a huge snowstorm coming," he said. "The Fat Controller wants all the engines to be fitted with snowplows." "Hang on. Where's Daisy?" asked Percy. "Her driver came in early this morning, and I guess they must have left already." "Bother," said the station master. "She needs to know the news." Then he turned to Emily. "Could you go and give Daisy her instructions?" asked the station master. Even though Emily did say she was not going to speak or listen to Daisy again, she also didn't want to disappoint the Fat Controller. "Of course I will," replied Emily. "I'll go find Daisy right away." "But first we need to get your snowplow fitted first," said her driver. With that, Emily puffed away to the work sheds. Meanwhile, Daisy was waiting at the station for Gordon with the express as he was running late. "I don't see why the other engines think snow is horrible," she said to herself. "I think it's pretty little white spots falling from the sky and trees, and fields covered in flakes. It looks wonderful. In fact, I think I can handle this weather." Just then, Gordon finally pulled in with the express. "I see you had a little problem on your journey," boasted Daisy. "But I think I can handle the snow just as fine." "Good for you," grunted Gordon. "But I'm late, so I can't chat today." And with that, Gordon puffed quickly away just as Emily arrived. "Oh, it's you," grumbled Daisy. "I just wanted to inform you," said Emily, "that the station master would like you to go and get your snowplow fitted because there's a huge—" "Me? Wearing a huge snowplow? Never! Those awful things are bad for my buffers and swerves." "But this is important," chuffed Emily. "There's a big snowstorm coming and we have to be fitted with our—" "Listen here, Emily. You don't tell me how to do my job. I tell you what you need to do, and I respect you to follow, and I will not repeat. I will not wear those awful things on my buffers." Before she could retort, the guard blew his whistle, and Daisy rolled away. Emily was most upset. "Oh, the nerves on that rail car," she said crossly. She'll be in trouble soon, sighed Emily's driver. And he was right. As Daisy rolled along the line, dark clouds flooded and heavy snow fell to the ground. Daisy's driver was having trouble and couldn't see anything. Talk about Jack Frost blowing here, he said. Then there was trouble. As Daisy turned a corner, her driver applied the brakes. When they stopped, snow was blocking the line. Oh, come on, complained Daisy. Let's keep moving. We can't let the passengers be late. There's no way getting through this way, said her driver. We'll have to go back to the station if we're lucky, called the passengers. But it was too late. As Daisy reversed back, snow had already covered the track and she couldn't stop in time. Daisy plowed her way through the snow and was stuck. Help! Cried Daisy. I can't breathe! Your air tubes must have been clucked up, said the driver. The driver tried to clear the snow out of the tubes, but the snow just kept on falling. The guard went to find a telephone to call for help. Emily was in the yard when she heard the news. I warned her, she fumed. She can just stay there and freeze until her engine goes. Don't be like that, scolded her driver. Think about the passengers stranded and shivering out in the cold. And what will the fat controller say if you don't help out? Emily knew her driver was right, and was sorry at once. With that, she puffed away to the rescue. Meanwhile, as the snow continued to fall, Daisy began to shiver along with the rest of the passengers. I hope someone comes soon. Don't worry there, girl, said her driver. I'm sure help will come soon. It snowed and it snowed. Daisy was almost buried until she heard a familiar buzzing. Up in the sky was Harold the helicopter, busy dropping hot drinks for the cold passengers. Once the passengers were warmed up, Harold lifted them one by one into him, using something called a recliner chair. I wish I could stay, but I have to get these people home, called Harold, and he buzzed away. Wait! Don't leave me here! Called Daisy beneath the snow. But Harold was already gone and couldn't help Daisy. Until she heard a whistle plowing through the snow. With her snowplow was Emily. Having trouble, Daisy? Teased Emily. I'm surprised. I told you I don't need a snowplow. Because of you, I'm stuck and it's your fault. My fault, said Emily crossly. I tried to warn you, and you should have said sorry for being rude and bossing me about. Oh, I am sorry. Sorry you didn't listen to me? You were the only one not listening to me. That's enough, Emily, said her driver. Oh, come on, we better get her out. It wasn't long until Emily plowed the snowdrift fiercely. Once the tracks were cleared, Emily pulled Daisy onto the top station. When they arrived, the Fat Controller was waiting at the cross. You should have learned to listen, scolded the Fat Controller to Daisy. When I give orders, I expect them to be passed on and orders obeyed. I was even told by Toby that your rudeness to Emily. She proved today that she was very reliable and hardworking. Daisy looked at her buffers in shame. Once you're fitted with your snowplow, Percy will be looking after your passengers. Will you help with plowing the branch line until all the lines are cleared? Do I make myself clear? Yes, sir. Sorry, sir, Daisy said sadly. At the workshed, Daisy was soon fitted with her snowplow, just as Emily pulled up beside her. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you, darling, said Daisy. I guess I was just being too bossy and full of myself. That's all right. Not every engine is perfect, and the next time you want to stay out of trouble, then you should just do as you're told. Daisy could only manage a little laugh. Which, I like to ask, do you think snow is pretty now? Daisy pretended she didn't hear.